What up, what up, what up, man? Let's take two. Let's take two on this thing real quick, man. Coffee and EDC. I'm testing out a new power station. And suffice it to say, whenever I test out power stations, I test out any of these big machinery, anything like that, I'm testing this stuff out to see, can it work in everyday use, camping use, hunting use. So right now I'm testing out an all powers 1800 watt, peak at 2200 watt power station. And it just tripped and everything is plugged into that power station. Monitors, computer, my kettle, the grinder, you know, these cameras, everything is plugged into that power station. I'm trying to stress it on purpose. I guess I stressed it too much. Because it did just trip, it did just blow. So I'll take note of that. Right now it is running at, okay, so right now it is running at 100 watts, which is just enough to power everything that you see here. But I expect for when I get these power stations, I should be able to put them through a test and they make the damn cut. But hey, might as well get it going, man. He says accidentally cut it. No. It was the machine itself made the cut. I wish I had my iPhone to show you what this damn thing looks like underneath here. Matter of fact, I can show you via, I'll show you with the second camera angle real quick, man. All right, so if we look at this second camera angle, the machine that I'm testing is down here on the floor. And it is right here. So that's being tested out. And it's telling me what I'm outputting and all that good stuff. And it just tripped. And I was not expecting for it to trip. So now when I do their review, I can talk about what it can handle, because to be honest with you, I'm not running that much at the moment, to be honest with y'all. I'm probably running maybe 1800 watts when the kettle's turned on. So this thing shouldn't have tripped at that low wattage, but whatever. We'll see how it goes, man. Let me start my coffee up and we'll talk about what I'm carrying for the day and all that good stuff as well. Give me a Lima Charlie if you guys can hear me loud and clear. I'm trying a wireless microphone, which I don't do very often. People who watch the first take, I've already privated the first video. I've already privated it, so people can't even see it. You know, I'm on top of my YouTube shit, bro. On top of my YouTube shit. So this kettle right here is running at 206 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is the thing that made it trip, but it shouldn't have tripped at this kettle. You know, I know this kettle draws about 1700 watts of power whenever it's warming the water up, but it shouldn't have tripped at that. So that's something to think about, man. That's something to take into account. And I'll talk about that when I do the actual review. But this thing is affordable. I'm used to using my Echo Flow. Like I normally use this. This is my normal device that I use at this area. The Echo Flow Delta 2. This thing has never tripped. Has all the plugs in the back. It's freaking heavy as hell. That thing has never tripped on me. It's never blown a lid or nothing like that. This new one that I'm testing out is a little bit interesting. And so I will take note of those small little changes and stuff like that. But anyway, back to this coffee, bro. Let's see what's up here. Who's already in the building? Who's already in the mix? Hey, Mike and Ike, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. We appreciate that, man. My normal soundboard is at my desk. We're at my coffee station right now. I drink fancy coffee, but use an AeroPress almost exclusively. Blessed eyes, listen. Everybody keeps telling me like, X, you need to give an AeroPress a try. I've used an AeroPress before. Like, don't get it twisted. I've used one before. The issue is I don't know if I need another coffee thing. I don't know if I need another coffee item. Just as a reminder, I'm drinking some Dad Bod coffee because, you know, I'm working on my Dad Bod. I've already dropped, hey, congratulations to me, man. I've already freaking dropped 8 pounds, real subtle, like just by cutting off freaking desserts and soda. But anyway, we got the Dad Bod coffee going on. So that is what we are gonna drink. We got 25 grams of coffee, 400 grams of water gonna come out of this. So let me get this thing prepared, and then we're gonna talk about what's in the pockets as we prepare to pour this up. So let's see, let me start this drip with about 75 grams of water. Just to bloom this coffee up real quick. And give that about a minute to do its thing. Make sure I got everything wet. So anyway, while we're waiting for that to kind of do its thing, man, we'll talk about what's in the pocket. I am carrying the Hogue Deca, back on my Hogue Deca, bro. I love other knives. I'm a big fan of them, but the Hogue Deca gets the job done. I've been using this thing since January. Their version of the Axis lock is just getting smoother and smoother. And oh my God, it's just so fantastic. Like I've really enjoy carrying this knife nowadays because of how smooth it's just progressively getting smoother over time. I'm a big fan of that and good stuff like that. We're going to talk about the flashlight here in a second. Let me start my second pour. Bring this up to 200 and then we'll do a little swivel action real quick. Dripping shit on my mouse. Done damaged my damn mouse, my trackpad. All right. Let's see. Also, congrats. Appreciate that. It says the watch is looking fresh. Oh, we got to talk about the watch, man. We'll talk about the watch. You know, my watch game is getting stronger and stronger as we speak. I'm always looking to expand my watch game and stuff like that. Always looking to expand it. All right, so we got the Nikkor EDC 27 in the pocket as well. I'm a big fan of this flashlight. I literally just used it about 3 minutes ago when this live stream cut off and it cut back in. I was trying to see like what the F over. So I had to shine this underneath this damn coffee mess to figure out what's going on with that type of stuff. I like how many modes this thing has. I think low lumen modes is only 15 or maybe it's only 65. I can't even remember. Let's see. So we got 1000, 15. Yeah, 15 is a low lumen mode. It has a little LED screen on there. So I like that. And just a very nice compact flashlight. Doesn't even matter if you're working from home, whatever. It's just a nice flashlight to have overall. And we talk about the watch. We'll talk about the watch. This is the Benrus Type 1C. Benrus is legendary. You know, Benrus started in 1921 by, I can't remember the guy's name, but his first name was like Lawrence and his last name was like Benrus something. So he just took his name and made the word Benrus. Maybe it was Benjamin and his last name was Lawrence or something like that. But he started Benrus in 1921 making legendary watches. He got his first major military contract for Vietnam. And for Vietnam, he was slated with providing a watch that could handle diving 1,000 feet below sea level, going 30,000 feet in the air with a pilot. It can be worn by CIA agents. It can be worn by Navy SEALs. One watch had to be able to do everything. And he won the contract from the U.S. Army and eventually from all of DOD to where one watch had the ability to do all of that stuff at once. That watch was the Benrus Type 1. Now, this is the Benrus Type 1C, which is kind of it's the upgraded, updated version of that, but it still carries the heritage of that. So when Benrus originally closed down, some investors with a whole lot of money, they bought the rights to the name of Benrus and they started making Type 1s, Type 2s in their field watches again. This is a Type 1C, which just C stands for color. You can get it in different colors or whatever, but it still has the markings of a traditional dive watch from Benrus. Listen, I love my VAR watches, but this watch has everything in a dive watch that I need, especially when I use this thing to track time. I'm a big fan of this watch. I love the way it feels. It does have has a little marking in the back to let you know that you're actually wearing a Benrus watch. This is actually made in Switzerland, but they have a USA flag on the back, which is kind of a little like ass backwards. You would think it was made in the USA, but it's not. It's made in Switzerland, but they did have a major US contract back in the day. I guess that's why they can kind of talk about that type of stuff or whatever, but I don't know. So I'm a big fan of this, man. Just those watches that have like a story to them always kind of gain my attention. Like they always kind of just gain my attention. I'm always kind of a big fan of that type of stuff. And this one's no different. Like this one's no different whatsoever. So let me know what you guys have in your pocket. My favorite is Kenyan or Ethiopian. What's your favorite, says Aaron, when it comes to coffees? I don't know if I have a favorite bean from a country. I have a favorite roast, like the way that these beans are roasted. I think as I develop my palate more, I will start to develop beans, like the taste of coffee from different countries, but I'm not really at that level yet. I think that, you know, as it stands right now, I use my little cup I got from Alcatraz. I went to Alcatraz in San Francisco years ago, and now I just use it to catch old coffee after I'm done making pour overs. It's relegated to this type of life. Poor Alcatraz cup. But so we got a pretty nice looking setup here, man. A pretty nice looking setup. All right, let's see. Did I spill so much liquid on my mouse that it's not working as I wiggle it here? We also have Hubert Van der Low, vanilla all the way. Okay. Aaron, Ethiopian for the win, says blessed knives. Yeah. I need to try, like, just kind of give that stuff a little bit more of a go, like the specific places and the specific type of coffees. I normally don't necessarily, am not too worried about the specific coffee per se, but I like something that is, I really like light roast for espressos, and I'm a big fan of medium roast when I'm doing pour overs. Sometimes I fuck with a dark roast. Everything I have right now in the man cave is all medium roasts and all light roast. And do we want to drink it all right now? No, we'll save some. We'll save a little bit. All right. And where is my lid? Let me grab my other mouse, because this one I might have actually damaged with freaking coffee or water that I dripped on it. All right. Of course, I had to come through with my bougie mouse that I don't like to use too often because people make fun of me when I pull this thing out, but whatever. My trackpad just got water on it and it stopped working all of a sudden. I'm trying to use it now. Oh, now it's working. Okay, sounds about right. That's life. That's life. Now it's literally working. All right, we'll see how long it's filling. In the pocket today is Use 'em or Lose 'em, is the Cold Steel Voyage XL, the Phoenix 12V version 2, and a Leatherman Surge. The Leatherman Surge. Yeah, the Leatherman Surge is something good, man. So the Leatherman Surge is something nice. I feel like I don't need more Leatherman, but you know what the base fuck around and did, bro? Do you know what the base did, the military base where I do most of my shopping? They added the Leatherman Arc. You know, that the Leatherman Arc has been added to the base website, and now I feel almost obligated to just go and snatch that shit up, man. I know I don't need to, but let's just go check out the pricing, bro. How much is the Leatherman Arc normally? Anybody can tell me that? Like, how much is the Leatherman Arc normally? Because they have it for $205. Is that the normal price for the Arc? I don't think so. I think it's what, normally $230, $240? They got the Leatherman Arc for $205, tax-free, no shipping. Oh my God. Tax-free, no shipping. No shipping charges. But I don't need it. The actual Leatherman that I'm carrying today, it's sitting on my man cave desk, is the Leatherman Free P4. Get done with any little jobs I have around the house easily. But when they do shit like this, it just draws my attention. It's already a bestseller. They just listed this 3 days ago, so it's gonna sell out on base. So I see Father Figure says that it's crazy how much misinformation I've seen. It's crazy how much misinformation I've seen out on other channels about the Benchmade stuff. What are people saying that's not correct about that? What is people saying about that that's not correct? I haven't really like followed it too much. You know, I did the deep dive on it. I think I'm one of the only channels that, so what I did different with the Benchmade situation is that I went to the court websites, I paid for the documents, I downloaded them, and I read from the documents. Then I also interviewed the lawyer for Montana Knife Company. I interviewed Montana Knife Company. I'm about to reach out to Benchmade again to see if they want to do an interview. They probably, at this point, I don't think they do. So, you know, I think that I've been pretty accurate with my information. Hopefully I've been pretty accurate with my information, because I don't want to, I don't want people thinking that I'm out there just shooting from the goddamn hip. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's doing stuff a little bit different. You saw for $229, says OG Mr. C. Yeah, that sounds about right. $229. Now, mind you, Leatherman does a discount for veterans. Let me see how much the discount is. What's 229 minus 15%? Okay. So I think Leatherman either offers a 15% discount or a 10% discount. And if that's what they offer, this 205 makes sense for the military website, right? Because if it's 229 and they just automatically apply the discount for the base, that actually makes a lot of sense. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. But what I'm not tripping about, man, I just got this freaking new VAR. Listen, a lot of people complain, right? A lot of times I wear the VAR A12 Dirty Dozen. You know, I'm real big into field watches, and I'm getting into dive watches that have a military story, okay? So this dive watch is a Benrus dive watch. It has a military story. But a lot of times I wear these watches and the price it's up there. Like this watch is a $1,600 watch, right? It's made by Benrus, I understand that. And sometimes I wear watches from like VAR, and those watches may cost $600, $700. The VAR A12 Dirty Dozen is a $900 watch. And some people really want these watches, but the price point is unobtainable for some folks, and I can understand that. So VAR just released the A12, or excuse me, the Dirty Dozen, but they released it in the C5 and the C3 variant, okay? They just released this, and this has a coarse movement instead of an automatic movement. But it's gonna give you all the goodness of the A12 specifications except for the automatic movement, and also it doesn't have that same double dome sapphire crystal on the top. So it's a little bit different crystal on the top. I think it's only one instead of two coatings. The lume is a little bit different. The case on the back is not exactly the same. It has a sealed case on the back. But this gets you in for a significantly lower price. So if you like the way that the A12 looked, Dirty Dozen with the second hand dial, or the seconds dial on its own individual hand, you now get that on a different watch. This is not sponsored or anything like that. They sent this out just for me to check out, man. And it does come with the additional strap and all that good stuff. So I think I might actually give this away. I'll probably give this away to a channel member, man. I'm gonna see how I feel. Just test this out for a while. Got a shout out to the channel members. So it's $199, says Mr. Okay, that makes sense. So we might have to do that, man. We might have to do that, because I think that they put out some quality products. There's three companies that I really mess with when it comes to watches: Benrus, Mercedes, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, and VAR. They all are assembling in America. And, you know, I think that they're really doing a good job of showing that contrast. You know, they're showing that contrast of what it can be like to actually assemble watches in America versus everything overseas. Hamilton started in America in the 19th century. It started in the late 1800s in America, made in America, and they have since moved their entire organization, their entire production to Switzerland. I think they still have headquarters in the United States, but they don't make anything in the United States anymore. And that's a bummer. Omega, Seiko, all those other watches, as nice as they are, they're not doing that type of stuff anymore, man. And so it does make me draw pause. You know, it does make me draw pause about that type of stuff. It says they're saying that he stole sales information and took it to MKC because we know how many folders that they make. So if that's what they're saying, if they're saying that, if people on other channels are saying that, just, you know, if they're having live streams, it's be vocal in the live stream, man. Like, hey, that's not exactly what happened. You don't have to send them over to my content, obviously, but you can always just kind of let people know, hey, that's not what happened. That's not exactly what's going on. And Benchmade is freaking litigious. They sue people. So if you're out here saying that they sued Montana Knife Company because their employee definitely took paperwork and definitely, like, if you don't get the facts right about Benchmade, they will send your ass a cease and, well, actually, they might not send you a cease and desist because they didn't do it in this case. But there's a possibility that they could sue your ass, man. They seem not to play around with that type of stuff. So that's why I wanted to read directly from the legal documents. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how it goes. Shout out to my birthday next month. Your birthday's next month? He said, talking about for the stuff, for the giveaway. Yeah, I just had my 5th year anniversary, my wife's 35th birthday, all in like a couple of weeks span. So May has been a very busy month, man. We just hit 5 years married last weekend. We went out, celebrated, went 20 toes, all that good stuff. And one thing I like to do is I really like to go out and just get tipsy with my wife. Just kind of go out, take an Uber or whatever, and just like, for those hours or whatever, we can act like we don't got 5 kids. We can act like, you know, have a green tea shot, a white tea shot, have some Jameson. She drinks amaretto sour, and she drinks rum and pineapples, and I'm drinking normally Jameson neat, or I'm drinking old fashions, and we're just partying it up, man. So we like to do that type of stuff. We like to do that type of stuff. Gotta appreciate a good old quartz. Yeah, I mean, this watch that I have on is a automatic movement. And as soon as you start to get into the world of automatics, depending on the size of it and the maker of it, the price goes up. So yeah, quartz movement it's a win. It's a win. Do you prefer smartwatches for your pure function, or do you think the features are not necessary? So user 1000, I try not to wear smartwatches as often as I can. Sometimes I do have a TicWatch Pro 2020. That just lets you know how long ago it's been since I bought a smartwatch. So I bought the TicWatch Pro 2020 in 2021, coincidentally. It's super accurate, but it's like a brick on your wrist. It's super big, but it's accurate. But I've kind of gotten away from needing that accuracy. I also don't want to be disturbed. I don't want notifications on my wrist and just have notifications all day long. So I think that's another reason why I don't necessarily carry them. One way I've kind of gotten around needing a smartwatch is I do wear the Ultra Human Ring. I'll probably do a review about this. John Gadget has already done a review on this, so you can check out his content. But this Ultra Human Ring it has a pedometer, it does sleep tracking. This Ultra Human Ring has the most God tier sleep tracking of any device I have ever owned in my life. This is smartwatches. This is their competitor Oura Ring. This is the Whoop. I've had the Whoop tracker before. All of them. This thing has a better sleep tracker than any of them. So the way I get around from a smartwatch is I wear an analog watch and I use the Ultra Human. So that's how I know my sleep routines and all that other type of stuff. The reason I like the Ultra Human so much is because, unlike its competitor, the Oura Ring, once you spin the nut on this thing, and this thing's like $300, maybe $350 or something like that, there is no monthly subscription. So, you know, the Oura Ring, and I think Apple might be making a ring, and other companies are making, there's no monthly subscription on this. Every feature's unlocked. There's not one feature that I've wanted to use in this ring that I can't have access to. Workout tracking, sleep tracking, blood oxygen level tracking. You know, this thing tells me when it's the best time for me to have caffeine. Like, it would say, hey, based on your blood oxygen level and based on your last night's sleep, your caffeine window is from 1000 to 1400. It'll just tell me straight up. And I'm like, so it's really been a helpful thing to have this. So to answer your question, I prefer a regular watch. He says I spam your content every time I see, you know what I'm saying? Listen, my content will eventually kind of make its way throughout. When people start to research, the Benchmade versus Montana Knife Company situation. Mine's like kind of some of the only ones that's viable out there, so people will see it. But hopefully people start to get the facts together, man. He says, oh, at least I got my 15%. Oh, so you have the Leatherman Arc. So that means that you save more money, Simplify. And the only thing is like, I think you had to pay taxes, which may have bumped the price back up for you. And then I think they do free shipping over a certain amount. So you probably got free shipping, but you definitely had to pay taxes, I'm assuming. Dear sir, I found you a couple of days ago. Love your vibe. Peace to all. Carnivore, hey, appreciate you kicking the door in. Sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders. Sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders. Let's go ahead and pour the rest of this up, man. So this stuff is actually pretty good. You could tell it's a medium roast versus the dark roast or whatever. A lot of people ask where the hell I get these from. DevilDogDepot.com. Sell these Canteen mugs or whatever. DevilDogDepot.com, and you can just kind of, I don't know if they sell any other ones, but I know Simplify, you might be interested in one of these, bro. They have all sorts of stuff that's like Marine Corps related, but this is like my favorite item of theirs. But they have the USMC gear, USMC clothing, lifestyle. Basically anything that you can think of Marine related is on DevilDogDepot.com. I need to holler at them, bro, because y'all need to be on my, y'all need to be providing some good stuff. So here's the Canteen cup that I'm talking about. I've already broken 3 of these. I need to buy them extra because every time they break, I just go to the website and buy one. I don't want them come here one day and they're sold out. So I don't want to do that. The U.S. to few the Proud Marines. Okay, this cup is pretty common. I see that thing all over the place. The koozie, interesting. Yeah, the one I like the most, hands down, is the Canteen. That's the one I like the most. X, you got me off my smartwatch. Been enjoying the disconnect. The disconnect is nice, is it not? You know what I'm saying, Mike? It's like, it's just so cool to just be like, not have to worry about those notifications. So I have my phone sitting next to me right now. I'm currently in dad mode. And so I need to make sure if my daughter wakes up or whatever, I need to know about that. She's still knocked out. Like I can see right here, my little app. She's still, whenever I say sometimes I gotta go, that's her crib, and I can see that she's still knocked out. So that gives me an indication I still got time to kick it with y'all. But you know, sometimes it's nice to have a smartwatch for those, because I would get a notification on my watch like, hey, she's awake, you want to do this, you want to do that. But for the most part, her schedule is so like, you know, it's so routine. I know I have time to kind of kick it with y'all and stuff like that. Dang, what's the ring? I missed it. It's the Ultra Human. I need to drop a link, man. It's called the Ultra Human. Let's go to their website. Field trip. Ultra Human ring. Yeah, so the Ultra Human, oh, they dropped the price a little bit. The price is now $314. I wonder how much it is on, oh, so it was $349. It's $314. Another thing I could testify to this, and I need to get a macro lens for this, but I don't want to spend the money because I don't do that much macro photography, but I think it is interesting that this thing has been worn by me in all sorts of scenarios. Out to the club, working on my house, using a grinder to get paint off my brick, working on my pool, handyman stuff, changing diapers, having sex. Like I've been using, this thing is always on in the shower. There is no signs of scratches, no signs that the paint is fading away. The battery hasn't gotten worse. Like this thing is really nice. Okay. I have it in the black, the Aster Black is what they call it. So I think that any of these, you probably would be good to go with any of these, to be honest with you. You might be good to go with any of these. So Father Figure says, how do I join? So to join, there should be a little join, a dollar symbol on your screen. We're in the shorts tab, so it might be harder to see, but there should be a button that has like a dollar symbol. You push that and push join. If that's not working, you can go to YouTube. You can go to my page and just go to the join page. If I have a mod in the chat, if you want to drop my the join page, join channel members page from my page, I would appreciate that. You always rent a macro lens if you need it for a special project. That's a good idea, Isaac. That's a good idea. You know, I have a lens that damn near does macro stuff. Like the lens that we're currently using, like I can get something really close to it. Like this knife is about an inch away from the lens right now. So it does have like almost macro capabilities, but it's not quite macro. And so that's something I would have to think about as well, is just like almost getting to that macro level of capabilities. But yeah, renting it is something I need to think about, or even buying something used. Like I'm an eBay bull. I'm a Craigslist bull. Meet me in the parking lot of a police station. Let's make this transaction happen. Let's make this this happen. Hey, Crispy Donut Community kicking the door in. Appreciate you kicking the door in. Classic watch all the way. Love the idea of that ring. Yeah, and just kind of having a combination. You know, I don't know. I'm not trying to convince people to not carry their smartwatches, not use a smartwatch or anything like that. But I am just trying to let you know, like, that you don't have to feel tethered down to a smartwatch, because they do two things. If you have an Apple Watch, all an Apple Watch does is lets people know that you have an iPhone in your pocket. The shape of an Apple Watch is so smart, like a rectangle or square on your wrist. It's so smart. Plenty of room for notifications, all that shit. But it's just a screaming indicator that you have an iPhone, that you're an Apple bull. And then if you have another type of watch, like a Pixel watch or a Samsung Classic or Watch Classic or anything like that, they don't have as much functionality room as an iPhone, as an Apple Watch. But they're so freaking bulky. They look more like a watch, but they are still bulky on the wrist. Appreciate you dropping that for me, man. Steve's Gear is here as well, saying what up to everybody. Thanks for kicking the door in. Let me see if I missed any comments about what you're carrying. Hey, Benjamin Reed, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. Appreciate that, man. I'm thinking about the VAR dive watches. Yeah, the VAR dive watches are, I don't have one nearby. The VAR dive watches are significantly cheaper than the watch that I'm wearing. I hope they come out with I do hope they come out with like a quartz move. They do have some VAR dive watches that have like quartz mechanisms instead of automatics. And they have, so if you really want to get a dive watch, like you can get something like the DS4 and still have that goodness. The thing I like about my D5 is it has the date on it. This one doesn't have the date. I don't know if this one has it. Yeah, this one has a date. So this one has a date over in the 3 o'clock. My watch has the date in the 6 o'clock. So for me, I like to have the date on my watch. That's one thing that I kind of poo-poo this Benrus watch is that it doesn't have the date on it, but it's not supposed to. Like the Benrus watch is adhering to a watch from the past. And this watch is a little bit bigger than I prefer. I need to measure my wrist. I think I have like a 7.5 inch wrist. So this one's a little bit bigger than I normally would wear. I normally prefer like a 38 or 36 millimeter. I think this one is a 40 millimeter watch overall. But the information on that is also in the description. But this one here, yeah, I like the VARs, man. $279 is a great price to get a watch. And I think that this is a Chinese made VAR. They assemble watches in 3 places. They assemble them in America, Switzerland, and China. So most of their watches are made in America. Some of them, for cost purposes, to get you into the VAR lineup, are made in China. And then if you want the high-end VARs, they're made in Switzerland. So you have to think about which one kind of works out for you. If I'm misquoting any of that, let me know in the comments, man. But the one that I've been super interested in has been the R1 Chronos. So I saw Josh Fiend on YouTube. He was rocking one of these on his wrist the other day. I was like, oh man, that shit is fire, bro. That shit is fire. But the prices are, I know for what I would want is a little bit up there. Like, I don't know if this one is $399, if it's a quartz or if it's automatic. Like, I know nothing about these watches other than the way that they look. So I would have to do like a deep dive to figure out, well, I guess they're all started at $400. But I saw Josh with one on his wrist, and I thought it was super interesting. I don't know if he's talked about it yet. Field Trip, let's go look him up. Josh Fiend. I know him and I have kind of corresponded a couple of times in the past. So we both work with Tom Talk. Tom Talk sent me one of his packages by mistake and sent one of my packages to him. So we had to talk. I reached out to him and say, hey, Tom Talk sent me your package. What do you want me to do with it? And he was just like, hey, just, no big deal. I'll reach out to him. But I saw it on his wrist in one of his bags. Yeah, this picture right here, what's in my travel bag, he posted a month ago. I noticed the watch on his wrist was a VAR. And I was like, oh, I want you to talk about it, bro. Like I want to know about the VAR. Has he done one already? Let me see. Maybe he's already done one and I'm tripping. Okay, so he featured it in a video 2 months ago. He talked about the Civivi. Oh, he already talked about it. No, he talked about the same watch I talked about. All right, let's save that. We're gonna save this to watch later. And we're gonna save this to watch later. And my bad, I feel like a creeper. I'm creeping on Josh's shit, bro. But I wanna know, has he talked about it? This is how I do research, guys. When I'm trying to figure out if I wanna buy something, if I wanna work with a company, I'll just go straight up and see, like, has anybody else done any research on it? And should I also think about doing some as well? So I don't see any other ones on there. So if I see anything else, I'll check it out. But VAR is making me change the watch. I have a Q&Q dive watch for the past 4 years. The thing about a good dive watch, bro, whether it's a Rolex, which I would never purchase, someone who wants to gift one to me, so be it, but I would never purchase. It's just too expensive. Or a Benrus, a Presadis, Seiko, any of those, is you literally, if you get a watch that's well made, you can literally put it on your wrist, and as long as you're not allergic to it or something crazy like that, you can never take it off. One of the guys I follow, his name is Michael Smirkanish. I was listening to him I like to listen to politics, but I like to listen to independents. He's an independent dude. And I was listening to him earlier today, and he said that he has had a watch on his wrist for almost 20 years. He has never taken it off. And he's owned that watch for 40 years. It's a Rolex. So let's just say he spent $11,000 on the watch, $7,000 on the watch. If you own a Rolex and if you own it for 40 years and you've never given it away or whatever, do you think the money's worth it? All right? Maybe. That could be worth it. But he said he has not taken that watch off his wrist for 20 years and he's owned it for 40. I was like, 20 years? So that's swimming pool, ocean, other countries, having sex, changing diapers, because he has a grandkid. Like, the watch is just always on. That's a dependable watch, bro. Like, that's a dependable watch. Like, super dependable. Hey, Branch, hey, I see you outside, man. Appreciate you kicking the door in. Father Figure Grab Truck just joined, sir. Thank you for becoming a member. You got a good goddamn head on your shoulder. I wish I had my soundboard over here so that I can give you a goddamn, but I'm sitting in my coffee area, man. But I appreciate you, man. There's members only content you can go check out, all that good stuff. I hate recharging my Apple Watch. Currently rocking the Big Eye Solar and really want to get my first automatic watch one day. CDC, man, I'm telling you, bro. Matter of fact, text me, man. Text me. I might be able to hook you up with an automatic, man. Text me. We might have to make some stuff happen, bro. The VAR S3 white face watches are still sold out. Juan, what? Say it ain't so, bro. Say it ain't so. Let me grab one, man. Are they gone? Hold up, man. Because the white face watches are freaking nice. They are really nice. All right, we'll grab one of these. We will grab a dive watch. And I think we'll leave it at that because it is interesting to have the different options and stuff like that. Man, that sucks. That means that one thing I'll say is that they're producing, they're making this stuff by hand. They're doing these things by hand. And sometimes, when you're all fighting for the same parts, sometimes it be like that, bro. Like, I know a lot of people complain to me about nutsack. They complain to me about that, like, oh, it's out of stock. I'm like, well, there's a lot of companies, especially when you're trying to make stuff in America, that are competing with the same supply chain, right? So what he's talking about is the white field watch by VAR. I think this is the S3 field watch. It's a great little quartz watch, great watch to get yourself started. And I recommend this thing all the time if you can get your hands on it. And I think what you guys were talking about earlier with the dive watch with VAR, I mean, they make some great products. I just want them to continuously keep them in stock if they can. And if you compare the dive watch with VAR with the dive watch with Benrus, I mean, they are, I think the VAR is a little bit more flashy. The VAR is a little bit more traditional because it's a unidirectional. A unidirectional watch, meaning it only turns one way. Whereas the Benrus, it had to meet military specs. So the actual bezel turns both ways, which most dive watches don't do that, but that's what's unique about the Benrus. And so there's a few things about the VAR I wish was a little bit better, you know, but they're still both great watches, man. Still both great watches. Hopefully they're able to get this restock thing going on. Hopefully they're able to kind of solve that issue sooner than later. Like, because they make some good shit, for sure. Let's see. I use a Galaxy Watch 5 Pro for my workouts, for when I'm swimming and trail running. You know what's so crazy, Miss OG? Is listen, when the Galaxy Watch 5 Classic came out, was it the 4 Classic? I can't remember if it was the 4 Classic or whichever one has a spinning bezel. When that shit dropped, bro, I have my smartwatch is from 2020. When they dropped that, I think it was the Samsung Watch Classic. I think it was the 4th with the spinning bezel. When they dropped that shit, I was like, it was just the reviews look so good. I was like, man, I might want to just get that shit because it just looks so interesting. But I was able to hold off. Jesus, thanks for kicking the door in, man. I'm carrying a Hogue Deca. Anything that I'm carrying is above my head, just in case you joined late. Anything I'm carrying is above my head. Let me see what comments earlier I missed because I was trying to get my ducks in a row. Hey, the real Chris Brown, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member, bro. Appreciate that. Sucker Free is here as well, man. What up, man? Appreciate that. LCV Blades. Hey, man, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a member. Now, that Buck 112 Slim, how have you been liking that? You've had it for a couple of weeks now, right, Bentley? And also, I'm going to be reading your article, hopefully sometime today. If you want to write for my website, let me know. Let me know. I am looking for people who aspire to be writers and trying to grow the website for more articles and stuff like that. So themarinex.com is currently where I house my articles or whatever. And I want to kind of get articles written daily if possible. So the last review I really had was the Holy Nerd, TRM Holy Nerd. But if you're interested in writing or becoming a writer, join the Discord, which I should have the Discord linked in here and I don't. Let's go to the Discord. But it's themarinex.com/Discord. Join the Discord. And there's a writer section in there, and we can get you guys going on actually joining to start being a writer for the website. So let me know if you're interested in something like that as well. I have a Timex that's coming in the mail soon, says Branch. Yeah, does Timex own? No, Casio owns G-Shock. Does Casio also own Timex, or are they two different companies? This is where I get lost in the sauce when it comes to watches, because I don't know who owns what and why they own what or whatever. I have the original Samsung smartwatch with the spinning bezel. That watch is still kicking good. Yeah, other than like the battery degrading, it's probably going to be a good watch for years. Like, for sure. And loving the Garmin Phoenix 7X Sapphire Pro. Garmin's watches, they have like, their smart watches are like in this long ass category of what they make. Like the Mark Captains are probably some of their most expensive watches that they make. And then they make stuff all over the place for golfers. They make stuff to people that play different sports specifically. And I'm like, man, like they are not playing around with their watches. They make $2,000 watches easily all the time. So like if you really want to get yourself a smartwatch from Garmin, they have everything that you could think of. The Mark Captain is really slated for people that are, you know, are boaters. That's why it's called the Captain. But then they have watches that are people that literally play golf, and it helps track how well you're putting and how well your strokes are and all the other type of stuff. Like they make some luxury watches for that ass. $2,200, bro. Like for $2,200, they make stuff for the athlete, the aviator, the golfer. I don't even know what the commander would be. I guess it was somebody in the military. Let's check that out real quick. Let's check that out real quick. So this is $3,200 American. $3,200 American. That's for the carbon fiber. What if I get it in titanium? Oh, okay. If I get it in titanium, I can save almost a G. But if I get it in carbon fiber, this is, let me see the commander version. 3,200 bucks. But anyways, very well made smartwatches. I think they're really big. For me, they're not really for me. The price is the main reason, but they got a lot of features, man. The battery life is God's here. I think you can get like 10 days of battery life out of these watches. And for this much money, yes, they should give you freaking 10 days of battery life. There would be no reason why you're charging these things up every night. You know, but everybody's doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to have an ultimate smartwatch, it would be a Mark. It would be the Mark Commander. I like the way this shit looks. If they just made it a little bit smaller. Or I would get the Mark Adventurer. I like the way the Mark Adventurer looks. The other one's not really. I don't really like any of the other ones. But I like the Mark Adventurer and I like the Mark Commander. Just taking a look at those. So, Dwayne, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. Appreciate that, man. Casio's made by, okay, so G-Shock is made by Casio. Okay, makes sense. So, the Expedition North Trap Rock. See, man, I need to just find more budget options for watches as well. And I'm starting to do a few more watch reviews. And my watch, I want you to, whenever I do a watch review on my channel, I don't care if I get lots of views or whatever. My goal for a watch review is not a watch guy watch reviews. Maybe I should start calling them that. Not a watch guy's watch reviews. From the guy that just wants a nice watch, has functionality. I use a few features on a dive watch, but I don't freaking dive, right? That's not what I'm using them for, but I use them for small little tasks. Like a lot of times when I'm wearing a dive watch, what I'll do is if I'm in the middle of cooking, like tonight I'm making meatloaf, okay? I don't eat beef, but I'm making meatloaf for the family, so I'll be making some beef meatloaf tonight. While I'm cooking, I will oftentimes switch my dive watch over and use the timer functionality of it just so that I can quickly know how long I've been cooking something or how long I've been doing something. You know, today I need to go outside and do some work on the outside of my house. I'll use the timer functions of my watches just for small stuff like that. You know, so yeah, I understand the concept of it not being for everybody, but I like that type of stuff as well. Oh yeah, for sure, the battery insane depending on how you use it. The size for me is one reason I like it. The big bezel for my wrist. Yeah, if you have a big old biker wrist, Jesus, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. But I don't have that big a wrist. I like the Marathon mil-spec watches. I like any mil-spec watch. If I'm wearing a mil-spec watch, I have I have the Varv mil-spec watch. I have another Benrus mil-spec watches. And I have like homage watches, which are not mil-spec, but they're homage. They aspire to be that way. Let's see, a budget watch video will be dope, like under $200. I guess that might be super budget for watches. So Isaac, I don't have a dedicated budget watch video, but VAR does sponsor some of my videos. And whenever they sponsor videos, they try their best to feature watches that are below $200 in the sponsored segment. So I think the last sponsored video they did for me was on my pouch video, but that watch is less than $200. Yeah, that's normally less than that. YouTube University loves, yeah, everybody loves those, bro. And I feel like I'm missing the boat. The Weekender watch from Timex you recommended a while back is awesome. The crazy thing about that watch is I bought it for my little brother, and I'm trying to convince him to get away from a smartwatch. And I have G-Shocks, I have a couple of Timex, and I really am like, if you can get a watch that's less than 50 bucks, it's not a smartwatch, just to see if you like it. It doesn't have lume on it, it's backlit and stuff like that. But why not get it Try it. If you hate it, return it within the return window of Amazon. Or if you love it, keep it. Maybe you won't have to always wear a smartwatch. I've been looking to get into some new glasses soon, and I know you have the Ray-Bans that connect to your phone. After having them for a while, do you think they're worth it? Yeah, I'm wearing them right now. These are like fantastic. These are really, really good, really great watch. These are great glasses that Ray-Ban has come out with. This collaboration with Facebook, there's a few things I don't like about them. The fact that I don't have a Facebook page anymore. I deleted my Facebook page in 2019. But you got to have an Instagram or a Facebook to make these things work. So I do have an Instagram for my YouTube channel. So if you get these, I would recommend get them in transitions. Make sure you get transition lenses. These transition, as soon as I hit UV, they turn into sunglasses. If you get the non-transitions, you're gonna look like a dork wearing these inside. You're gonna look like a dork wearing these inside with and their sunglasses. You can also get them with your prescription, and I would also recommend don't get the matte version. These are called the Adventure Black or Bold Black or some shit like that. I wouldn't get the matte version. They're fingerprint magnets, which is an oxymoron because normally gloss and matte, or normally gloss is more fingerprinty than matte, but I think the way they make these, the matte version is super fingerprints, like all day, every day. Carrying my T4 I bought from your sale. Yeah, that T4, man, I have my other T4, Dwayne. So I sent you that T4, and I realized I had 2 or 3 of them, so I wanted to get rid of one. My other T4 is sitting on my YouTube desk, and it literally is I used a package opener because the slotted screwdriver on one side has like the little package opener. I use that for opening packages and for my camera equipment. So if I'm changing up tripods and shit like that, you know, the full flex functionality of it doesn't get used as much as I would like to. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, let me know what's in y'all's pockets as well, man. It's so crazy because I try my best to just expand to different things, and always be versatile on different items that I carry and different companies I work with. I just did a video about Big Idea Design, kind of coming after one of the commenters on one of my videos, which I thought was so weird for them to do something like that. I got a lot of feedback about that. Also carrying a Hank and a Parker pen. So I like Parker pens. I don't carry Hanks as often as I should. I'm looking at a Hank right now that's literally I use to polish my watches before I put them on. I need to get more into possibly carrying Hanks. I don't know, man. I have them. I just have the normal ones as glasses. Okay, I see what you're saying. Thanks for the heads up on that. I did not know if it was a collab with Meta. I'm going to look into this summer. Yeah, so it is a collab with Meta. Ray-Bans owns the physical feature. Meta owns all the technology. So they have a camera on them. They just enabled the feature where you say, hey, Meta. And what am I looking at right now? So you can see it's so crazy because I just asked Meta, what am I looking at? And it told me I'm looking at a monitor. I'm looking at a conversation screen, which is it's chat on YouTube. And also it told me I'm looking at a camera. So the Meta feature on these glasses are freaky accurate, like super accurate. Like, hold on. Hey, Meta, what am I looking at? It just told me I'm looking at a grinder. This is a niche zero grinder. So I don't know, man, like the computational AI that's in these glasses are scary. Just let you know that we're all going to be taken over by AI soon. Hands down. What are your thoughts on the Bolovo military hack? I've never even heard of it. So I probably wouldn't even, I have to research that. I never even heard of it. Civivi Elementum, one of the best knives I've had, everyday good quality for a good price. Yes, Jesus. And what's so crazy is because my mom's very first pocket knife was a Civivi Elementum. She saw one of my Amazon videos and she bought it. And she texted me a picture and I was like, Mom, Why didn't you just tell me you wanted a pocket knife? I would just put one in the mail. Like, you don't have to use, buy one from Amazon. I have knives lying around. She's like, oh, I just don't want you to think you have to send your stuff and stuff like that. So I appreciate that, but she enjoys it. She couldn't figure out the liner lock. And a lot of people struggle with the liner lock because we handle knives so often. When they open, I handed one of my buddies a knife that was a liner lock. He could not figure out how to close it. And I was like, you know what? That reminded me that knives are dangerous. Like, that reminded me that knives are dangerous. And, he's a big swole guy. He knows how to use guns, but he never interacts with knives. So when I handed him my knife, it was a Casio or Costco, or however you say that company. He couldn't figure out how to close it. I was like, oh, this is freaking dangerous. Like, we don't think about that sometimes. He says, Vegas dad says, that is creepy as fuck. It is a little creepy, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I would literally be sitting on the game room floor of my house and I'll ask the glasses, what am I looking at? And it will say, you're looking at an infant child, a toddler, and a stack of bricks. And it's my daughter, my son, with them playing with blocks. Like, it's very accurate. It's like super accurate. Okay, I'm interested. How much are those? I think there's like $250 or something like that. I would buy them from Ray-Ban's website. Don't buy them from Amazon. You can buy them on Amazon, and of course, but the reason I like to buy them on Ray-Ban's website because you can customize them exactly how you want them. So I bought these with the transitioning lenses, and I wanted the actual. First time I bought them, they were matte, and I returned them, and that way you can just customize them exactly how you want them, and you're good to go. Amazon has a lot of them, but it's just, if you want the return policy of Amazon, then buy them on Amazon. They're normally $400 on Amazon, but they're on sale for one. Okay. What camera do you EDC? I don't EDC a camera anymore. I used to EDC. I had the Fujifilm X100V. I sold that when it was hot. I bought the Fujifilm X100V for the price it's supposed to be, which was like, what, $1,200 or $1,100. I sold it for $2,000. So I sold that. Sometimes if I take a camera with me, it's the camera that I'm looking at. And this is the Sony A5000. You can buy these cameras on eBay for the camera that I'm using right now, and you can buy on eBay for like $150. So it's a great camera. It's from 2014. It still does pretty good image quality. Don't push it too hard because it doesn't do 4K. It only does 1080p, but it takes fantastic photos. Like the Sony A5000 that we're looking at right now takes fantastic photos. And this camera right here, this is a Sony FX30. So this camera right here is $1,800 with the lens cost me like $1,100. So this camera setup right here is like $3,000. It's a great camera, but I don't think it's getting me in this scenario for a live stream. It's not getting me 30 times the price of the camera that we're looking at right here. It's not doing that in this moment. Now, when I'm filming YouTube videos, if I'm outside, oh yeah, this camera smokes the A5000. But just for something simple like this, I would spend $150 on this camera all day on eBay. Make life easy. I normally have those glasses. I be lurking. I be lurking, you're in my ear. Hey, appreciate that, man. Yeah, those freaking smartwatches, bro, are just crazy. Let me see what's on knifenews.com because I know that there might be some stuff that I might want to check out here. Dylan Mallory returns to Artisan with a workhorse. I guess Dylan's a knife designer because I don't know who the hell that is. Work Sharp refines Ken Onion sharpener. Oh, they came out with a Mark II, really? So I have this sharpener. I have this Ken Onion sharpener. I don't use it very often, but they're doing another one, huh? So they're bringing adjustments to big and small to the Blueprint establishment. So I wonder what's different about this. $299, Ken Onion Mark II. The original Ken Onion's very old. It's very, very old. So I guess it was time to get an update. It looks different, I can tell you that much. $300, ugh, sounds freaking disgusting. I don't know if you need to spend that much money though, because it does 15 degrees and 30 degrees. I think the old one did 15 degrees and 25 degrees, but don't quote me on that. That seems like a hefty price. But hey, if you want to do a nice little belt sander type of sharpening, you know, there you go. There's a belt sharpener concept, which I use every now and again. Civivi turns a hobby knife into an EDC neck knife with the quick snip. The quick snip is Elementum utility. So it looks like, oh, they use proprietary blades. Boo-boo. That's trash. It would be nice if they used regular number 11 blades. Those look like proprietary blades right there. I can't tell. I can't tell. And it's $11 though. Like, who freaking cares? 11 bucks? And it comes with 3 extra blades? Okay, that's not bad. I mean, $11.70, that might not be that bad. That might not be that bad. Okay, I can get that. For EDC, do you carry ligman? I don't know what that is. If you had to choose a 5th pocket carry knife, what would you recommend? The TRM Nerd, the Holy Nerd. Jaime, that would be it. The TRM Holy Nerd. It's hard to get your hands on, but I've used it extensively. I wrote an article on it on my website, and I think that's a really good knife for a 5th pocket. Yep. But yeah, guys, my kiddo's waking up. I showed you guys earlier. I just got a notification on my phone. So I appreciate y'all once again for kicking the door in, guys, and we will speak soon.